What's up, Kings Nation? Zavi here, and today I'm bringing you the weekly predictions, and we're on week 12. But before we get into week 12, we have to go back and look at our week 11 results. So, for the Thursday night game, I picked the Saints to win over the Panthers, and the Panthers ended up winning, barely. So, we got that one wrong. Steelers versus the Browns. This one's obviously the Steelers, so we got that one right. Ravens versus the Cowboys. Picked the Cowboys. Cowboys won it. Jaguars versus the Lions. We picked the Lions, and the Lions won. Boom. Titans versus the Colts. Titans versus the Colts. The Colts won by a TD, so we got that one wrong. Oop. Bills versus the Bengals. The Bengals lost. We picked the Bills to win, so we got that right. Bucks versus the Chiefs. Chiefs let me down and ended up losing, but they barely lost though, so not too worried. But got that one wrong. Cardinals versus the Vikings. Cardinals let me down. Vikings won. Whoop. Vikings won, so we got that one wrong. I accidentally skipped a game. Bears versus the Giants. Picked the the Giants to win, and the Giants won, so we got that one right. Rams versus the Dolphins. Dolphins almost let me down, but they ended up pulling out the W, so that's great. Patriots versus the 49ers. This one was obvious. The Patriots won. Eagles versus the Seahawks. We picked the Seahawks, and the Seahawks won. Packers versus the Redskins. We picked the Redskins. The Redskins definitely won that one. Now, the most controversial game of the week, the Texans versus the Raiders. We picked the Raiders, and the Raiders won, so we got that one right. As some people say, the Texans got cheated or whatever, but I had nothing to do with that. So, let's go ahead and count up how many we got right versus how many we got wrong. So, it looks like, again, we went 10-4. Is this like some kind of magical number or something? And just to think about it, I said I didn't expect to do this good again. I said I was expecting to go like 7-7 or something like that. But we went 10-4 again. So now the all-time record is 20-8. That's pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and move on to week 12. So, as you know, we have 3 games Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get the easy games out of the way. So, are there any easy games? Okay, obviously everyone the Browns play, that's an easy game. Are there any other? Oh, this is another easy game. And that's pretty much all the easy games I see. Now, the reason why the Jets versus the Browns is an easy game, obviously, because it's the fucking Browns. Like, if you lose to the fucking Browns, you're like fucking garbage. So, I don't think the Giants gonna lose them. And the Patriots versus the Jets, the reason why this is an easy game because the Jets are going through a QB crisis right now, and their defense, yeah, that's basically it. So those are the easy games of the week. Let's go ahead and get into these Thanksgiving games. Now, the Vikings versus the Lions. The Vikings did win last week, but they barely won. The Lions won last week too. So this is about a 60-40 game, and I'm leaning towards the Lions. Just because the Vikings, just because they beat the fluky Cardinals, I don't think they're back on track yet. Cowboys versus the Redskins. Now, this game is, it could go, this one is definitely 50-50. But I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys just because the way they've been pulling out these victories recently. Or should I? This one actually is 50-50. I don't know who I want to pick. Um, you know what? I picked against the Cowboys a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Cowboys just because I think they're gonna pull it out. Now, the Steelers versus the Colts game, the reason why I didn't pick this one as an easy game is because sometimes the Steelers trip and sometimes the Colts ball out. So, but I'm gonna pick the Steelers just because the Colts really don't have the defense to stop the Steelers. That's what I'm gonna say. So yeah, I'm gonna give that game to the Steelers. So that's all the Thanksgiving games: Lions, Cowboys, and Steelers. Go ahead, put it in now. Now, Titans versus the Bears. I didn't say this one was an easy game because the Bears put up a game against whoever they played last week. I forgot. Oh, against the Giants, yeah. But I'm gonna go with the Titans just because the Bears are missing Alshon. That's the only reason, literally. Now, Jaguars versus the Bills. This one could be a close game, but I'm gonna say the Bills win this one just because the Jaguars haven't been. They're looking like their regular selves. Yeah. Bengals versus the Ravens. Both teams are coming off of an L, but I think the Ravens' L doesn't matter that much because it was the Cowboys. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick them to win this game. And the Bengals, again, AJ Green got hurt. I think one of their running backs got hurt. And yeah, so since AJ Green gone, they have no receivers. So that's a loss for them. Cardinals versus the Falcons. I like the Cardinals very, very much. But I'm going to have to give this game to the... Wait a minute. Cardinals versus the Falcons. Battle of the Birds. Both teams I think are coming off of a L. I don't know about that. I could be wrong about that. But you know what? I've been putting faith in the Cardinals for like these first two. I think it's time to go against them. So yeah, I'm a go with the Falcons on this one. Hopefully the Cardinals don't show up this week. Now the Rams versus the Saints. The reason why I said this one wasn't an easy game is because the Rams, well actually, it is an easy game. I should have said it was an easy game. I just don't think it'll end up like that. I'm going to go with the Saints just because the Rams having a QB situation. Jared Goff, this is his second start. I don't think he's chasing that team around. So yeah, this should be a quite easy dub for the Saints. Now, the 49ers versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins almost lost to the Rams last week. Let's not forget that. But the Rams are slightly better than the 49ers, so I'm going to have to pick the Dolphins for this one. Now, this next game, everyone should know who the fuck I'm going to pick. As a Chargers fan, we winning this fucking game. Coming off a bye week, we're winning this game regardless, no matter what. Like, the Texans don't have the offense to match ours. Their defense kind of decent, but our defense better. So Chargers winning that regardless. It's gonna bite me in the ass if they lose though. But we're not losing. So Seahawks versus the Bucks. The Bucks are on a 2-game win streak, and they surprised me last week with the win over the Chiefs, but they barely won by 2 points. And the Seahawks are a much better team than the Chiefs, at least all around. So I'm giving this game to the Seahawks. I'm sorry, Jameis. You're doing your thing. I do say it'll be a close game, but I'm just going to have to go with the Seahawks on this one. Now, the ass Panthers versus the Raiders. Obviously, even though I want them to lose with all my heart, I have to pick the Raiders. Because obviously, their team is much better than the Panthers. Much better. Now, the Chiefs versus the Broncos. The Chiefs have to win this game in order to try to win the division. The Broncos also, well, both teams have to theoretically win, but the Chiefs need to win more since they took a loss last week. But Broncos versus the Chiefs, this one's kind of a 50-50 toss-up. So I'm going to have to give this one to... I think Aqib Talib still hurt, So I'm giving this game to the Chiefs. Now, the Packers versus the Eagles. Again, I'm going against the Packers because it's the Packers. Nothing against them. Their season just has been terrible. So I'm going with the Eagles. So these are all the picks for week 12. Now, let me go ahead and tell y'all who I would start and sit. So, obviously, Vikings versus the Lions. I don't have no opinion on who you should start in that game. But the Cowboys game, definitely start Zeke, just because it's the Redskins. You know, their run D isn't too well. Steelers versus the Colts, definitely start Le'Veon and AB and Big Ben, because the Colts don't have a defense like that at all. Like, they really don't have a defense. Another game you can start. Oh, definitely Odell and Eli and Sterling Sharper against the Browns, because it's the fucking Browns. Like, that's easy. Now, another game, Patriots versus the Jets. Go ahead and start Gronk, Julian Edelman, and Tommy Boy, LeGarrette Blount, and Dion Lewis against the ass Jets defense, because you know they're just fucking balling out. Another game, start. Oh, you can start Melvin Gordon and Tyrell Williams against the Texans, because they're unstoppable. The Texans don't have anything to stop them. Y'all can just take that how y'all feel. And the defense I would start this week would have to be definitely the the defenses I would start this week is the Raiders defense, the Giants defense, and that's about it. But as always, hope these predictions are helping you guys. We're now 20-8. Hopefully we can go 10-4 again, which I highly doubt, because you know some of these games are 50-50 toss-up coins. But hope these predictions are helping you. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.